Hello and welcome everybody to part 2 of Saturday's broadcast. I am Anaris. It is Saturday, October 16th, 2010, and for the Starcraft match today we have Pomi, I guess how you pronounce it. Anyways, Pomi versus WhiteRa. So you can see that Pomi is spawning right here, and WhiteRa right here. WhiteRa, of course, is the famous WhiteRa. Particular fame, most recently, I believe he was #1 in the HDH Invitational during the Starcraft 2 Open Beta. And we have Pomi, who also goes by Pomodore, although I think he just goes by Pomi now because of the name shortening of Battle.net. And, whoa! We got a proxy pylon here right at the ramp, and I don't think Pomi can actually see it. No, he cannot. So I don't think he'll be able to see it either when this pylon is complete. No, just barely out of range. So very good placement by WhiteRa as we are off to a crazy start, who is now building his gateway in Pomi's base. Since they're both Protoss, I can kind of see, or maybe WhiteRa might be confused and thinking he's building in his own base. But this is absolutely crazy. This is one of the reasons why I love WhiteRa so much. Stuff like this, it just entertains the hell out of me. So anyways, you've got these three probes down here trying to take out this pylon, except WhiteRa built another pylon up here at the top. So they're going to take this out, but it's not going to do any good. And actually, I don't even know. Well, they should take it out. But really, I mean, he's having to take 3 probes off. You can see that. You can see the little dent in the economy, tiny bit. But you know, if WhiteRa really invests all of his money into this, which he's probably going to have to in order to make it work, he's probably going to have to cut back on the probes a little bit, and you'll start to see his economy falter tiny bit. But we'll have to see as both players are chrono boosting out their zealots. You can see that WhiteRa's zealot did come out first. I'm just going to call him WhiteRa. WhiteRa is really annoying to pronounce, so when you're in the heat of battle, as another zealot comes in, the chase is on as WhiteRa's zealot runs through the mineral field and runs back towards his base where another zealot is being chrono boosted out. However, he is supply blocked right now, so he needs to get another pylon down as soon as possible, or else this is going to go nowhere super fast, especially since he's only producing from 1 gateway, whereas Pomi has 2 that he's producing out of right now. There goes 1 zealot right now. You can see the chase is still on. There is still 1 for each player. However, WhiteRa's zealot here is about to die. You can see that it has very low hit points, 24. It is still in the game though, and it is kiting around that other zealot. So taking that one out of the game, you can see that Pomi does have a zealot here attacking WhiteRa's pylon, and there is another one chasing the zealot right here. So the chase is still on. Meanwhile, in the base, WhiteRa is realizing this really isn't going to work out too well. So he is starting to build. He doesn't have any gas. You can still see the income that actually this has had a good effect on Pomi's income, but I don't think it's really going to be enough considering the sacrifice made. The pylon is done now. The chrono boost is wore off, and you can see there is a zealot stock at about 33% there, as the gas does go down first for Pomi. Probably see one from WhiteRa in the near future, as he is retreating down into his base. With WhiteRa does have this 1 zealot up here keeping an eye on what's going on, as well as this gateway, so WhiteRa will know when units are going to leave his base, what is going to be built. You know, if nothing else, it's a glorified scout, so that'll stay there in the present time. Meanwhile, taking a look up here at his base, you can see that a forge went down, as well as a cannon, so he is definitely going to have to play on the defensive for a while if he wants to stay in this game, as that was a huge investment of money there at the very beginning of the game. So very excited to see how WhiteRa can come back from this. I'm not too sure what he was thinking. Maybe he was just thinking it was going to be an all-in and that would be it, but you know, because of the fact that that Pomi had these 2 gateways and he was able to keep those zealots busy, ultimately the attack fails. So you can see right here there is some zealot harassment in the mineral line by Pomi, but WhiteRa is not really having any of that whatsoever. As you can see, he is trying to place the zealot in a position to engage the other 2 zealots when they come into the mineral line, and now they are trapped. Nope, just kidding. That one is gonna face punch his way out of, I don't even know what the face punch is. Probes don't have faces. This game's crazy. It's throwing me for a loop. I don't even understand it. So you can see this one guy is holding position right here. But now he is moving in and running away from the cannon, who is actually getting some free shots on him. I don't think he's really going to be able to do a whole lot of damage there. As you can see that Pomi is actually going for the Stalkers right now. He is still running off of one gas. Taking a look at the income, you can see that Duckload is starting to get his own gas going as well, and is continuing to build up in his base. Cybernetics core going down, and actually you can see that he has 2 cybernetics cores. Not too sure if that was a mistake or what, but I'm kind of I'm confused. I'm not gonna lie, I'm confused, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot think of any reason you'd want 2 cybernetics cores unless you were trying to upgrade hallucination and warp gate technology very quickly. There he goes. I guess he realized that the mistake was made. And you can see the Zealot is running back here now from the Zealots, who are from the Stalkers, who are going to come in here and do some damage to the pylon. And it looks like they realize the cannon's there, so they're going to switch to the gateway. And, WhiteRa knows that he's not really going to be able to do a whole bunch about this at the present time. He is currently boosting out some Stalkers, but he is effectively working off of one gateway right now. Warp gate technology is still being researched, so here comes the second gateway right now. This might provide a little bit of relief, help him get back into the game, but the problem is he's going to have to keep it alive, and I don't think he's going to be able to do that with one Stalker. Sure, he can delay the attack a little bit, but there is enough DPS going out here that it's going to take down the gateway very soon. He is trying to currently boost it out, but no, it is gone, and now WhiteRa is down to 2 gateways. Meanwhile, taking a look at the base real quick here, you can see that Pomi is running off of soon-to-be 3 gateways, and he does have the Twilight Council up, so it's very likely we will see Pomi transition into Blink technology, considering he already has a considerable amount of money invested in these Stalkers so far. As WhiteRa tries to kite Pomi away from his base by running his units down, Pomi didn't buy it. He moved right back up, and now he's trying to kite around that Zealot while avoiding the damage from the Stalkers. You can see now that there is some definite micro going on here from both of the players. However, at this point, I think Pomi realizes that it's a lost cause, so he is just going to let that go, and that's going to be it. So, taking a look here at the base, you can see that this one gateway is going to go down. I'm not too sure if he's going to cancel that. I don't think he canceled that at the last second, but whatever, that's okay, because this warp gate, or this gateway, is warping in right now. Let's actually take a look at the units lost. You can see that as a result of that, really both players are about even. Of course, Duckload losing just a couple less. That I think that was actually attributed to the good micromanagement, the good delay tactics. Really made the counterattack do a lot less damage than it really could have. So taking a look at the production tab, you can actually see there's a robotics facility. We've got ground weapons 1. We've also got the blink tech for Pomi here, as he is getting ready to move out with his Stalkers here, who don't quite have the blink tech yet. I think that's going to be done pretty soon. Yep, sure enough, there it is. And you can see that there are still 3 gateways running here, so he is going to try to get some pressure. He's really going to have to press and to make this the fact that WhiteRa is on the defensive to his advantage, because you can see that we do have Immortals being chrono boosted now. However, WhiteRa does have the defensible position. He has the high ground, so he was able to push off that attack fairly quickly. So at this point, Pomi does have a couple options. He could try to get blink tech with an observer come into the back of the base. He could possibly do a drop. We'll just have to see what happens. As you can see that Pomi is expanding down to his natural right now. He is also throwing down 2 more gateways in his base, as well as another pylon. So he's going to try to put pressure on with these early tier units. We may see him expand into maybe some high Templar usage. We may see some sentries, maybe some more, maybe some charged zealots, because you can see that that WhiteRa is definitely going for the Immortals. So some charge lots would make this kind of interesting, depending on how heavy that actually WhiteRa invests into these Immortals. So you can see there is getting ready to be another engagement, as WhiteRa does have this pylon here, which is giving him vision, allowing him to see the attack shortly before it comes. However, Pomi was able to blink out very quick before really sustaining any heavy losses. This one Stalker here, of course, coming very close to death. But we do have an observer coming over from WhiteRa to check out Pomi's base. He is getting a couple more zealots here. So I think at this point both players are going to macro up. WhiteRa has established himself back into this game. He is getting his natural as well. So he's going to take this time to build up and try to build some forces that will directly counter this very Stalker-heavy army that Pomi has put on the field so far. And there are a couple sentries which will actually be very good if used properly. If he positions the force fields and keeps these immortals out of position, out of the fight, while his blink stalkers fight these non-blink stalkers and these zealots, I really think that could help him push over the edge. However, both of these players are killing these rocks, so it'll be interesting to see how they meet. This would be an ideal position for Pomi to be in because of this short little open area right here. He will easily be able to force field these immortals out, force field whatever he wants to, and that'll be it. However, WhiteRa is, of course, fielding his own sentries, so it's going to be pretty intense to see what happens here. However, the thing to note is that WhiteRa does have this observer right here over Pomi's forces, so he knows this is coming, so we're getting ready to see the engagement right here. Maybe, nope, just kidding, I guess they just didn't want him to fight. I'm not too sure. Probably WhiteRa realized he was in a little bit of a bad position. I think that Pomi would have come out on top on that. He does have a couple more immortals here. Definitely a good idea to continue to expand on the immortal collection, so to speak, as Pomi is actually taking the long way around while WhiteRa moves into Pomi's natural expansion and taking out this pylon right here. However, this is going to alert Pomi of the attack. I don't think he really cares at this point because he realizes that he's in just as good of a position over here on this side. However, the force fields have gone down. You can see that Pomi is able to very easily take out half of these forces while blocking off the bulk of WhiteRa's force. You can see all the immortals are running around here helplessly. So Pomi is going to move in here and have his way with this expansion for a good 10 or 15 seconds before WhiteRa is going to be able to do anything whatsoever. You can see the expansion is going down right now. Nothing was being built for the players, but now you can see both of them are bringing in some Zealous and an Immortal. As the real engagement happens here, you can see that Pomi is trying to retreat, bring WhiteRa into an easier position to attack, as you don't really see many force fields at this point. There's a couple of them going down, but the Immortals are already in a great position to do their damage to the Stalkers and Sentries, both very weak to the Immortals. You can see that Pomi is focusing firing down the Immortals. However, there is just too much damage from WhiteRa being dished out at the moment, so of course Pomi is going to have to retreat. He's probably going to blink up, but here are two more Stalkers prohibiting the Pomi's forces from blinking away without taking much more damage. You can see 3 of them did live. However, they are going to retreat back to the base. And this pylon is here. It's going to warp in more units. And really, I think at this point, WhiteRa is going to have to sit back and change his plan a little bit, because assaulting this bridge when you've got such an easily defensible position right here, it's not really a good move. I mean, there's very few ways that you can really press an army down essentially through the throat of Pomi. I'm sure I'm going to get some references for that. Whatever, I don't care. Pomi is human, he has a throat, and I guess you can shove Stalkers down it. So anyways, taking a look up here at the base, once again, both players just macroing up. The difference is Pomi is actually expanding his tech out just a little bit more, whereas WhiteRa is continuing to produce the same units. So we are seeing some High Templar taking to the field very shortly, as the Templar Archives did just complete. And so yeah, we do have Weapon 1 upgrade for Pomi that'll help balance out the field just a little bit, as he is bringing in his own Immortals. So really, I think Pomi is going to stay in. He's going to stay on top just a little bit here, because you can see he is expanding again. He's expanding his tech, and really I think that's actually going to help him in the next engagement, which it looks like is going to be coming very quickly. However, this observer from WhiteRa is going to come out here, and it's going to see the forces, and I mean, I don't really know what else WhiteRa could do at this point. And I mean, I guess he couldn't think of anything either, because there was the GG. If you look at this army, once again, if it had tried to come out here, there was a great spread of units right here. Plenty of energy for the force field. You have the Archon going down to help soak the damage and do some AoE to the Zealots that are charging in. And I mean, that would have been that. So WhiteRa just cut his losses and just said GG. The kind of early, I don't want to quite call it an all-in, but it sure really felt like it. So that really didn't work out as well as he was probably thinking. So anyways, that was game. I hope you enjoyed it. Kind of a quirky game from WhiteRa. It is kind of an older game, actually. I know it wasn't from the most recent patch, but whatever. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys later.